Don't go anywhere. Turn up the volume and enjoy. Here we go. Go, go, go! Michael Schumacher gets off to a flyer. So does Fisichella.
Making good progress, moving up the back.
And there's been an incident at Sandevos. It's Trulli! He's sustained quite a bit of damage to his rear wing there. He may be able to get it back to the pits and replace it, but it's going to cost him a lot of time. He's very lucky that little incident hasn't ended his race today. Klein also got involved in that scrape. That incident doesn't seem to have done him too much harm.
You've got a puncher! Great! Ah, just great! We've got yellow flags indicated in sectors 1 and 3. Be careful!
There are reports of an incident into Nouvelle Chicane. That could well be a Midland that's hit the barrier. It's Montero! And with that incident over, he's out of the race. Unlucky. Seems like an age for the drivers waiting for the lights to signal the start of the race. The race is go, go, go! Fisichella gets off the grid well. So does Button. Here come the drivers into turn 1. There's nothing to separate them as they hurtle towards turn 1. Oh, and there's been a big incident down at Cops. It's more. You know the drill by now. Here we go. gets a lightning start off the grid. So does Michael Schumacher. The field is tightly packed as they head towards the first corner.
You're making good progress moving up the back.
Alonso leads out of the first corner. Behind him is Massa. Next is Michael Schumacher.
You're lost at the moment. Try and maintain this driving. You're moving superbly through the field.
With the first lap completed, the field looks like this. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Fisichella fifth. Jensen Button in sixth. He's up from seventh. In seventh is Raikkonen. He's down from 6th, and Nico Rosberg 8th.
Tires are reading green on the condition indicator. You should have optimum grip levels now.
As the drivers start their third lap, Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Fisichella fifth. Jensen Button in sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen. Nico Rosberg eighth. Alonso is on a charge now. That lap was 1:19.76. Massa can't keep the pace as he pulls away. He's touring the circuit in the low end of 1:20. The gap now stands at 2.5 seconds. Lap 4 of this Grand Prix. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Fisichella fifth. Jensen Button in sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen and Nico Rosberg eighth. Alonso continues to pile the pressure on. That lap was 1:19.84. That's quite a bit faster than Felipe Massa. The gap is now a tenth off 3 seconds. The top 8 currently looks like this. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Fisichella fifth. Jensen Button in sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen. Nico Rosberg eighth.
about the bastards you've been to the second sector in this session.
That's Massa on full charge. That was a lap of 121.23. That's a fair bit faster than Alonso. He's been lapping around the 122 mark, low 22s, dipping into the high 123s. We're on lap 6. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Fisichella fifth. Jensen Button in sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen. Nico Rosberg eighth.
Doing well. That's the best time you've achieved through Sector 1.
Alonso is on a charge now. That lap was 119.64. That's quite a bit faster than Felipe Massa. His lap times are around the mid-120s mark. Alonso continues to pile the pressure on. That lap was 119.82. 0.78. His lead over Massa has grown considerably. The gap is now out to exactly 3 seconds. The top 8 are as follows. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Fisichella fifth. Jensen Button in sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen and Nico Rosberg eighth. Alonso continues to pile the pressure on. That lap was 1:19.68. His lead over Massa has grown considerably. The gap has extended to 3.3 seconds. This is lap 9. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Fisichella fifth. Jensen Button in sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen and Nico Rosberg eighth.
1 whole second faster than the first sector. Good second sector, your best so far this session.
Button is stopping for no one right now. He's just done a lap of 1:20.85. That's better than Montoya. He's lapping around 1:22.5. Lap 10. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Button is fifth. He's moved up from sixth. Fisichella sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen. Nico Rosberg eighth.
You're a full half-second faster through Sector 1.
Alonso is on a charge now. That lap was 1:19.62. Massa can't keep the pace as he pulls away. He's been lapping at the high end of 1:19, low 1:20s. The gap is now a tenth off 3 seconds. We're on lap 12. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Button is fifth. Fisichella sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen. Nico Rosberg eighth. continues to pile the pressure on. That lap was 1:19.54. His lead over Massa has grown considerably. The gap has extended to 3.3 seconds. Let's see who the top 8 drivers are. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Button is fifth. Fisichella sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen. And Nico Rosberg eighth. Here's a scrap for 16th place. Trulli should be making his stop shortly. Will that open the door for speed?
He'll really need to push though. We think he's carrying more fuel than Alonso, but he's a fair way back at the moment. He's going to have to keep going for a few more laps if he wants to get past him after they pit. Trulli was fastest in sector 1. The gap is now exactly 5 seconds.
1.5 seconds up on your previous time.
Top 8 currently looks like this. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Button is fifth. There's real drama at turn 5. It's Montoya! It's left his front wing with a bit of damage, but the rest of the car looks okay. He'll have to pit and get that nose changed though. He's not retired from that incident, but it certainly hasn't helped him. Montero was involved in that as well. Luckily, he seems to have got out of that without damaging his front suspension. His front wing is flapping about though, so he'll have to pit for a replacement.
It looks like Speed is responding to the pressure applied by his opponent. He was faster through the previous sector. The gap is now under 5 seconds. Trulli responds by going faster through the previous sector. He's extended the gap by another 1/10 of a second.
The mechanics are out in the Toyota pits.
Trulli continues to open up a lead. The gap has extended to 5.4 seconds.
Quarter of the way through this Grand Prix, Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Button is fifth. Fisichella sixth. In seventh is Raikkonen and Nico Rosberg eighth.
It looks like Speed is responding to the pressure applied by his opponent. He was faster through the previous sector. That's another 9/10 of a second off the lead.
Trulli drives into the pits. Trulli completes his stop. This is lap 16. Alonso leads. Massa is second. Michael Schumacher third. Button is fourth. He's up from fifth. Fisichella fifth. Montoya sixth. He slipped down from fourth. In seventh is Raikkonen. Nico Rosberg eighth.
Speed made some time during the middle part of that lap. The gap is 23 seconds. Trulli responds by going faster through the previous sector. The gap has been closed to less than 21 seconds.
The Toro Rosso mechanics are out in the pit lane. Let's take a look at the current top 8 positions. Alonso leads. Michael Schumacher is in second.
Trulli continues to close the gap. The gap is less than 20 seconds now.
That's Scott Speed entering the pits.
This is what Trulli has been waiting for. The chances of Speed holding on to his position after this stop are not looking too good.
Here's Trulli passing the finishing line. Speed exits the pit lane.
It's going to be close. Speed is exiting the pit lane now, but he hasn't done enough to get past Trulli.
Take it easy while the tires are blue, or grip. They'll soon heat up and turn green on the indicator.
Here's the current top 8. Alonso leads. Michael Schumacher is in second. Raikkonen is third. In fourth place, Rosberg. Webber is fifth. Massa 6th, Montoya is 7th, and Button 8th. He's down from 7th.
The car condition indicator is showing green tires. They've heated up nicely now. Grip should be good.
Raikkonen is punching above his weight here. That was 1:19.68. That's a faster run than Michael Schumacher. The gap is now precisely 8.5 seconds. The top 8 currently looks like this. Alonso leads. Michael Schumacher is in second. Raikkonen is third. Webber 4th, Felipe Massa is 5th, Montoya 6th, 7th is Button, and Fisichella 8th. Looks as though the fight for 9th place is reaching a critical phase. Barrichello won't be able to stay out on track much longer. This may be the chance Clean has been waiting for.
He's going to really have to go for it. We think he's carrying more fuel than Alonso, but he's a fair way back at the moment. He's really going to have to push himself for a few more laps if he wants to get past after they pit.
A third of the way into this Grand Prix, Alonso leads. Michael Schumacher is in second. Raikkonen is third. Webber 4th. Felipe Massa is 5th. Montoya 6th.
Barrichello goes fastest through the second sector. He's extended the gap by another 1/10 of a second.
Good final sector. Your best so far this session.
Barrichello certainly looks to have the better of his opponent at the moment. He's extended the gap by another 1/10 of a second.
as if the Honda mechanics are preparing for a stop.
Clean knows he has to respond, and he's doing well. The gap now stands at 4.2 seconds.
Let's take a quick look at the current leaders. Raikkonen leads. He's up from third.
Barrichello was able to extend his lead that time. The gap is now out to 6.6 seconds.
Into the pits comes Barrichello. Exiting the pit lane is Barrichello.
Lap is scheduled to stop. Reminder to stop next lap. Good start. You just put in your best time to sector 1.
Let's take a look at the current top 8 positions. Alonso leads. That's a gain of 1 place. Michael Schumacher is in second. He's up from third.
Barrichello goes fastest through the second sector. He's slowly closing in. The margin has shrunk by another 10.
Sector 3, it's under yellow-black conditions at the moment, overtaking.
Clean knows he has to respond, and he's doing well. The gap has grown and now stands at 22 seconds.
The Red Bull mechanics are out in the pit lane.
Again after another superb sector. He's opened up the gap by another 0.2 of a second.
Scheduled stop at the end of this lap.
Let's see who the top 8 drivers are. Alonso leads. Christian Klein drives up to his pit box.
This is an ideal opportunity for Barrichello to use his advantage and grab a position. Klein is looking right down the barrel here.
Here comes Barrichello, who charges past our commentary box. Klein speeds away from his garage.
Klein is flying down the pit lane. He's about to rejoin the race. No, not this time. Barrichello is still out in front of him.
You've only got enough fuel to get around a couple of laps. You might want to think about pitting.
Let's take a look at the current top 8 positions. Alonso leads. Michael Schumacher is in second.